Alright guys, welcome back to Urge.
Yes.
We are picking up again with the Subclass series for the Sorcerer. This time we're going over the Sorcerer's origin of Wild Magic.
That it is.
And it is wild.
Indeed.
We had all kinds of craziness talking about this, and...
It's chaos in words. It's called Wild Magic, and that's what we get. So, the big thing, what starts how this whole subclass is built around, is essentially, you know, your magic is just so chaotic, you can't control it all the time. So, Wild Magic Surge is the actual term in the book. So, essentially, anytime you cast a spell of the first level or higher, anything besides a cantrip, you will roll a d20. If you roll a 1, you then roll a d100. Then, based on what you roll, a certain event is going to take place.
Yep.
I believe, I think there are 50 events that all have a 2% chance of hitting.
I believe so, yes.
There may be a couple of difference in there, but I think at least when we try to look through most of them. And they range everything from you grow a beard of feathers that are there until you sneeze and explode out of your face, to you cast fireball centered on yourself.
Yeah, or confusion on yourself.
Confusion on yourself.
Or your party, everyone within 30 feet gains vulnerability to piercing damage.
Right.
Wider range.
Yeah, there's everything. It's crazy. But it's chaos, and if you want something fun to play, to me this would be maybe the most fun you can have on a one-shot, is play this. Unless you're really just that chaotic of a person, because I can see, like, if you play with a group of people who are really serious about everything, playing this could be... The unpredictability of it might really irritate who you play with and yourself because you think, oh, this will be fun, and you get like 2 sessions in, you're like, I have cast fireball myself, confusion on myself, and put butterflies in front of me. Where's the cool stuff? That's just the way it's going to be. It's chaos.
At level 1, also, you get Tides of Chaos. You can choose, whenever you make an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw, to gain advantage on one of those. But once you do this, you don't regain it until you finish a long rest. But, big but on this one.
Yes.
Anytime before you regain use of this feature, the DM can have you roll on the Wild Surge table immediately after you cast a level 1 spell or higher. You then regain the ability to gain advantage on one of those 3 things. So, depending on how friendly your DM is,
or how funny your
evil,
DM is.
if you're really unlucky, and he wants to see you blow yourself up with fireball, he might just be like, "Sure, go ahead. You can just do your thing back. But before you do that, roll on that table.
Roll that table, buddy.
Fireball, TPK your whole party at level 1,
which is very possible. 2% chance it happens.
Yeah. So there's that. I mean, the ability to gain advantage whenever you want. It's kind of like one use of luck, but only on yourself.
Right.
If you know the feat luck, it's very good or very bad, depending on 1, your DM, and 2, how lucky you are.
Yeah,
so that's something to keep in mind.
Correct. At level 6, you get Bend Luck. So whenever a creature you can see, friend or foe, that's the important thing here, makes an attack roll, ability check, or a saving throw, you can spend 2 sorcery points and add a D4 as a bonus or a penalty to that roll. So
as a reaction.
As a reaction.
So you can't do it like to multiple times.
Right, yeah, but you can know what the roll is as long as you, and then essentially I work with the DMs like, hey, if we just got to announce all our rolls, that way I can then decide to use my reaction if I want to mess with that roll, good or bad. You know, your other friends over here trying to cast Hold Person to penalize somebody, and the guy rolls right on your Bard saving throw. Well, then you say that, and then automatically, then you know he's going to fail it. Same thing. Like if you just miss with a big single target spell, you can just if the AC's 18 and you roll a 17, well, guess what? You roll a D4, you're going to hit him. So that's very, very important. And the fact that it's 2 sorcery points, which at level 6 is 30 your sorcery points, but by the end of the game, when you got 17, 18, 19, or even you get into double digits even at that point.
Yeah.
That could be a huge swing in a battle, just being able to on as a reaction modify the outcome of a big AoE spell, helping somebody else succeed a saving throw that may not have otherwise, or hit a spell that they need to hit to make something happen.
Yeah, it can be a huge difference when it's like life or death and your whole party's like dead and the boss guy is almost dead and you just need to get him one more time kind of thing. It can completely change the TBK to a win.
Yeah, because you may be better off using those sorcery points for that to make sure good things happen for your team or bad things happen for your opponent than spending your sorcery points for twin spell, heightened spell, all the other stuff that you have.
Also, your other casters and friends, and even yourself, will be very appreciative when they cast a really high level spell and the creature makes a save by 1 or something.
And you say no, he doesn't.
You make that go, and then they take the full damage to the half damage.
Right.
That's huge. That can be huge. And then at level 14, we have Controlled Chaos. Essentially, whenever you roll on the Wild Magic Search table, you get to roll twice and choose one of the results. So you get a little bit more control over your randomness here. So if you get a good and a bad thing, you can make sure you pick the good thing. If you pick 2 bad things, you pick the less bad thing. Or 2 good things, you pick the better good thing.
Right.
Another reminder, too, as well, with the 2 abilities at level 1. The Wild Magic Surge, when you cast a spell, you roll, and you have 5% chance to get to roll on the table. But with the advantage one and the DM giving you a chance to regain it, you just roll on the table. There's no 5% chance. You just straight up roll on this table.
Right.
Make sure that that's clear. So you're gonna, if you think, well, it's only 5% chance I'm never gonna roll on this table. If your DM is letting you regain your advantage thing, you're gonna be rolling on this table quite a bit because you can just use it and then roll and then use it and then roll.
Yeah.
As a DM, I think would be hilarious.
Right, agreed. If I'm the DM of this table, I'm letting this Wild Magic Sorcerer do this as much as he wants. Just because it's going to be more fun for everybody involved just to see all the crazy shenanigans that's going to happen. It's like, he cast a level 1 spell, pick one, I don't care. And then anything can happen.
Yeah.
Anytime they cast anything but a
cantrip. That makes for some great stories.
It does. It's like, remember that time I polymorphed myself into a sheep while trying to charm person, the ambassador you were trying to talk to really prevent a war from happening?
Right.
It's like charm person and now you're a sheep.
Yeah, so there's that. So it gives you a little bit more control over it.
Right.
Then at level 18, we have Spell Bombardment. At first I thought this was awesome, and then I actually reread it and realized it's terrible.
It's bad.
So basically, you
roll
damage for a spell, and you roll the max damage.
Yes.
You get to re-roll
roll a 6 on a
dice and add that damage to it. So, for example, you have Fireball. Always Fireball example.
Yes.
You roll 8d6.
Yes.
One of those d6 that you rolled is a 6.
Yes.
You roll a bunch of numbers and you only roll 1 6. You can re-roll that 6 and then add that damage on top of it, which you originally rolled.
Right. So it becomes a 9d6 fireball instead of an 8d6 fireball.
Yeah, essentially. And if you rolled 3 d6s, don't matter. You only get to re-roll one of them. So your Meteor Swarm, instead of 40 total d6, it's 41 d6.
Yeah.
Not
like
that
50,
big of a
like
difference.
52 d6.
At that point, your 40 d6, an extra 3 damage on average isn't going to make a big difference.
Yeah, the rest of the subclass is really exciting, and we saw that, and it was just like, ugh.
And the thing too is it specifies you can only use this feature once per turn.
Right.
Which kind of sucks.
Yeah, it calls spell bombardment. So I'm thinking there's extra spells coming. The spells are extra big. There's crazy things happening.
Even if they said you can, even if it wasn't once per turn, it would be at least okay, whatever. Then it gives you if you're using meta magic, it has more synergy because then you're you're twinning or whatever. You're getting, I don't know.
Yeah, or you have a warcaster. You cast a cantrip as a bonus action, so you're level 2 spell, then a cantrip kind of thing. So you're okay.
Yeah.
But still.
Anyways, randomness everywhere.
Yes.
Not the greatest. For the final big stick there.
Well, moving on to the scoring section of our format, we decided to do something a little different with this one.
Yeah.
To kind of go with the theme of the class. So we'll be rolling to see how we score this subclass because that's about how this class goes. It is the most unpredictable and most chaotic of all the subclasses, and therefore the hardest one to score because there's nothing that's predictable about besides the fact that you can choose when you get the advantage and you can choose when you do your bin luck. But
it's pretty good.
Which is great. The main base thing of this Wild Magic Surge, you can't control. You can help yourself with literally called controlled chaos, but that second word is still chaos. So, for the RP value of said Wild Magic, it's going to be a 3 out of 5 flips. A nice little solid 3 on the roll. So, there's the spells you can get there. I mean, Chris, granted, there's not really a whole lot of RP within the base abilities, so 3 is fine. But you can definitely roll several RP things on the table.
For sure.
Like growing a feather beard.
There you go.
Because it's a great conversation starter. It's Well, even beer made of feathers, and they go to pull one and it's still there. It specifies it stays there until you sneeze.
Mm-hmm.
So then you're begging somebody to find yourself some peppers or something.
Your skin turns a vibrant shade of blue, and only a remove curse spell ends the effect. So you're just blue.
Just blue.
For all that time.
You're part of the Blue Man group.
All right, and then
Before was a thing.
Moving on to the combat side of things, we got a 5, guys.
Oh,
this class
snap.
is amazing.
Woo.
It's the best combat class you could possibly play.
Yeah.
It's a 5 out of 5 because, let's just say, and to be fair though, Benluck, being able to change, adding a d4 to subtract or add to a score can be game changing.
Right.
And in those really critical moments, it can be really big. And Tides of Chaos, the ability to gain advantage, and if your DM is nice again and lets you re-get that over and over again, having that advantage on a regular basis is huge.
Yep.
Now, you could blow yourself up.
But control
you
you can go level 14 with this.
So when you're level 14,
that does help you
does
a
balance out a
whole
little bit.
lot. Because like I said, you avoid one of those
This
two
class
things.
is going to be heavily dependent on your DM.
Yes.
And
your
how,
luck.
And how, yeah. As long as he lets you keep rolling on this table, you're going to have
It'll be interesting.
a very strange time.
Yes.
And it'll be completely unpredictable.
What a long, strange trip it's been.
So there's that.
Yeah, and I guess we'll finish it up here with our class synergy score. Let's average out 2 rolls here for the last and see what we get. Oh, that's not good. That's a 1. 2. So 1.5 with class synergy. I mean,
I don't know.
just the unpredictability, guys, it makes it hard to work with the rest of your stuff. But in all seriousness, the bin luck does get another way to spend your sorcery points, which is what sorcerers do. Your whole thing is based on your sorcery points. The Tides of Chaos, getting that advantage when you want to have advantage on a saving throw against a spell hitting you. So if somebody's trying to hold person you, so you can not do what you're trying to do, or dominate person you later in the game. Because the last thing anyone wants to see is a dominated person on a caster in their group, knowing all the shenanigans they can do. So that's just a bad time. So, things like that will happen, and we'll definitely help you with the class synergy as far as this goes. But ultimately, this would be a very fun subclass to play. Maybe one of
it could be the best class in the game.
Yeah,
if you're
a lucky sucker, like one of our group members he's a lucky sucker. It would be a great time if you're one of our other group members who is not so lucky with his dice roll, especially as of late. If you've watched a lot of our videos, the third chair, Caleb, has not had a good time with his dice rolls as of late. Happens to all of us. So if he was playing this subclass right now, it would not be a good time for him. He might have killed himself by now, literally, with the fireball or something else.
Yeah, total TPK for sure. But with that all being said, guys, in all seriousness, this is a pretty fun, interesting, strange class.
We'll do this in a one-shot for sure at some point.
Just because a lot of it's dependent on your DM, because it does specifically say anytime the DM can have you roll. So.
Yep.
Make good friends with your DM. This fun will be very class.
Bring the snacks.
If you guys ever played with Wild Magic Sorcerer or as one,
we know you have stories. We want to hear these stories.
Please,
I will go back and check these comments multiple times on this thing. Oh gosh.
Everything that you've heard, with everything like that. If you have any ideas for other videos or anything about D&D in general, let us know, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to like, subscribe. It helps a ton for us trying to hit that 1,000 subscribers here. So please remember to do that and hit the bell notifications so some of our new videos come out. And as always, guys, thanks for watching.